Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I lied. Well, hello, everybody. Barely morning. It's right at lunch. Um, so they had delays at work this morning, and they actually had the kids, my daughters, as well as the school districts that I serve from my regular job, were all on e-learning, so no buses were running today. Did have to open the shop for a little bit because they didn't close all the government offices all day. Um, but I had to stay home with my daughters. My mom had to deal with an appointment for my dad this morning, and he's got another one here in a little while later this afternoon. But she just came by to watch the girls for just a little bit. I've got one, maybe two small properties. At least one, I guess, and I'm going to try to get out of the way, and I'll pick up payment for that. And then right down the road from that is one that I did a cleanup for at the end of my last video. That I got, I guess, some finished footage of. So I'm about to get off, coming off the dirt road. So it's a little lumpy right here, but so just trying to get a little bit done so I can get back, because like I said, my dad's got another appointment that my mom's got to take him to. So I just took off the other half of the day that I would have had to go to work, because I would have only been able to go, like I said, my mom's getting here now. I would have basically only been able to go in for an hour and a half, two at the most, and it would have been an hour or so worth of driving. It's about 30 minutes or so from my house to work, so I would have had an hour's worth of driving just to simply work those 2 hours. So not a lot going on with schools being closed. So I touched base with one of the guys from work that works in the office with me, and I just let him know of kind of two things to look out, keep an eye on, and told them if they needed something, they'd give me a call. So I was doing some stuff around the house, helping my oldest daughter with some of her assignments from e-learning. And so they were about to get them a bite to eat. Like I said, I'm just going to knock out this 1 yard, maybe two, before I've got to get back to get them, so my mom can go take my dad to his next appointment this afternoon. So just kind of a quick swing through trip. I'm trying to get maybe a little bit of footage on that, and made a call last night down to South Georgia. Talked to Mr. Gerald over at Clean and Green. Shout out to Mr. Gerald. They all made it through the storm. I hope anybody that's had to deal with that is okay and hadn't had any major damages or issues. Prayers go out to all those down in Florida who got the brunt of the force when it made first landfall. I think it was a Category 4 hurricane. So pretty serious. I know they got a lot of damage going on down there, so prayers for them, and that they'll be able to get that cleaned up, and that everybody's hopefully safe down there. So haven't seen any updates this morning on it. I haven't checked for them, but prayers for those people. Hopefully everybody's okay, and anybody else that had to deal with the heavy rain and wind, that it didn't cause any major damages, and just prayers for everybody's safety. So, but thankful to Mr. Gerald. He took some time out yesterday evening. I think his power was out when I called him, but I just did some discussions on some stuff that I had some questions about, with some things on my end that I'm thinking about changing. I've mentioned with scheduling and pricing and stuff like that, and just kind of, he's got some similar properties to me, as far as some 1.5 acre up to 3.5 acre size properties is probably majority of his stuff. I think, like mine, I've got some that's a little less than an acre, and so I don't have the bigger properties like he's got with the college. But just some tips and things to see how some of his stuff is done, as it relates to the way I do mine, any similarities and things that kind of help with some clarity on where I'm going next year with pricing and stuff, and I think a lot of it was fairly similar that we talked about. So big shout out to him for taking the time out. Like I say, we always try to help each other out. Anybody else, when we offer advice in videos and stuff for pricing and maintenance and things like that. So just always looking out for our fellow lawn care brethren, folks, so a lot of other stuff going on. I'm not gonna get into some of that personal stuff, but because I know I've slowed down on the videos lately. But hey, like I said, trying to make a quick one here. I don't want to get too long on the intro. I'm probably 4 or 5 minutes in now, or a little more. So we'll wrap this one up. I'll try to, as soon as I get to the property, to maybe get y'all some before footage and maybe a little bit of maybe during. I'm probably going to be running the Z-Track today, because I've got to change the blades on the SCAG, and just haven't got around to. I got the blades ready to go in the shop from the last time I sharpened them, but we'll see what I get into. So y'all stick around, see what we can do. Well, I'm sorry, y'all. I lied. I didn't get any mowing footage. I only did one instead of starting the second one. It took me just about 15 minutes or so, 15 or 20 minutes longer than I thought. And then my wife would call me about something, so I had to take that call. And then I was discussing next year's pricing with that customer. So no big deal. I got one out of the way. And I got paid for another job that I had done a couple days ago. So no complaints about that. So cut one, picked up 2 checks. So but she was real happy with it, and seems to be like she's gonna be okay with pricing. I kind of gave her a ballpark of where I thought it was gonna be at, based on kind of what I've been looking at, and got my dirt stash going on. So I am on the way to my mom and dad's to pick up my daughters, so they can go to my dad's next. He's got another follow-up appointment to go to this afternoon here in a little bit. So I'm going to pick them up where I can get back to the house with them, and we'll see. My wife's got an appointment. She's gonna be headed to here shortly. She went and visited her dad in the hospital after she got off work a while ago, and so just a lot going on. Oh, a little rough down here. So, but again, like I said, just a lot going on with pricing considerations for next year, and I got a feeling I might lose a handful of customers. But I think if majority of the pricing holds, and I lose 3 or 4 with the new pricing, I don't think I'm going to miss them. So, plus it'll free up some time if I do lose that, and I'm at or above the same amount, with having to invest, if you want to say less, at least time-wise, and then that'll free up time here and there throughout the year to get some of the other landscaping stuff done, and it'll be easier to get some of those jobs out of the way when I've got them. So it was a good job there. I actually ended up cutting it with the SCAG. Did a good job. So the blades weren't quite as bad as I thought, but I'm going to change them probably this afternoon. Be ready for tomorrow, Saturday. So just a number of things going through my mind lately, just keeping stuff going around the house and situations going on, and business changes and things to consider moving forward. Um, so again, just a lot going on, and that's why as you say, that's why I talk so slow. Uh, do these videos nowadays, because I just got so much on my mind. So it's that time of year, winding down, trying to get over that last little hump, knowing at the end of the year's coming, but you wore out, and so we'll see how everything turns out. I think it's going to be a good thing in the long run. So some other things might be a little tough moving forward, but we'll deal with that as things roll through. Like I said, just hope everybody that had to deal with any serious parts of the storm, y'all are all okay. Boy, I forgot his phone pulling out right here. Which way this dude's going, so I ain't going to pull out in front of him. It's a lot of grass out there, y'all. I got to see track on. Good stuff. Let me get off here. Maybe I'll get some maintenance footage later. I don't know. I'll close the video out. Some talk. Maybe some maintenance footage. Here. So stick around. See, maybe I can end up making this inside. Well, alright, y'all. As you can see, I'm in the shop, so I didn't lie about that part. I'm doing some maintenance. I'm going to put a set of blade, or swap out the blades on the SCAG. So I got a set of, I think it's the Oregon. I think these are the Oregon blades. It might be the, let me see here. I'll tell you when I flip them over. Yeah, these are the Oregon blades because they don't have the SCAG stamp on the bottom. So, which is what I got on there. And they're not in terrible shape, but they're starting to get a little dull. So I don't want to wear them out too much, so that maybe I can sharpen them at least one more time. Oh, excuse me. So I was just waiting on some wasp to kind of die off in the back. There was back there on the back wall, right in that area right there. There was a nice little nest there with some of them on it. So spray some stuff on them, just kind of letting them finish dying off. I'm gonna have to get some more of that. So they're still kind of busy from all this hot weather that we've had. They like to show up in the south down here. So a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. Gotta be careful with them things. I gotta get me a couple of cans because I need to put one in the truck, and I'll get a can or two to have down here in the shop. So they like getting in this shop where it's a little bit cooler, I guess, in the fact that there is shade in here, even though it's just hot. But so I've had some truck talk, and now I got some shop talk. So now the dogs are going to start barking. So I'm up to, if you can see that, 144 hours on the SCAG. So it won't be long. I'll be doing another oil change on it. I'm contemplating, I've got the Z up for sale, but I was talking with, actually it was Mr. Gerald, when I was talking about him stuff yesterday evening, and I said, you know, I'd kind of thought about whether I needed to back up on that, and since the Z is a 54, and I do have maneuverability with it, on my small properties, and even in the cemetery, the 52 SCAG is a little better for that, just because the overall mower is smaller. But I also thought, since the Z does such a good job, if I maybe swapped up the plan and maybe even sold the SCAG and moved up to a 60 or 61 standard, instead of trying to go with a 60 sit down. Maybe even a 61 ZK or even a 61 V-Ride 2, because those are, oh, light going crazy here. Just some things, like I said, a lot of stuff kind of rolling through my mind, but yeah, we'll see how all that goes. Like I was talking about with the pricing for my customers, I talked with another one about it today, kind of gave her a ballpark range of what it might be going to next year. She didn't really seem to have a problem with it. So, like I mentioned earlier in the video, if I up my prices on about 14 or 15 of my customers, hang on a second, wasp, got him, and finish him off. He's hovering around like he was gonna come at me. I guess it's the orange shirt. I like that colorful stuff. Think it's a flower or something. I don't know. But so hopefully, like I said, if those 15 or so customers, if I up the price on those, and 3 or 4 or 5 of them maybe leave, but roughly say making the same amount of money or even a little bit more on a per week basis, or or per cut basis. So by the time I've cut all my properties, if I'm making roughly the same amount of money or a little bit more, even losing 3 or 4 customers, that's beneficial to me because it frees up time. Not that I want to lose any customers, but we'll see. It's a lot to consider, just because it affects other things outside of just the business. So, and that's another thing that I'm focusing on getting away from. Just having been a smaller time, provider for so long. I have roughly 20 yards, and I don't have as much overhead with employees and stuff. I don't have 50 or 60 yards, or 40 or 50 yards, 60 yards, whatever, something like that. So I'm kind of a smaller provider, so to speak, even though I've got some pretty decent acreage with what I do. But so yeah, we'll see how everything kind of pans out. I gotta get these blades put on here, and then get it loaded back up so I can get back up to the house. Yeah, just a lot going on, a lot to think about, a lot to process, plan for. That's the nature of it. I've kind of gotten away for a little while. When I think I was again talking to Mr. Gerald yesterday evening, and I've told some other people that I've talked with about it, is, I've kind of had a mindset of it being somewhat of a hobby and just a side hustle, so to speak, not really a business mindset. And I'm kind of at the point where I need to start focusing more on it being a little more of a business mindset than just a hobby that makes me extra money, because it does help provide some other things. So, and maybe I can get back to kind of treating it more like a, I don't want to say a hobby and not charging enough, because I don't want to short myself either. But I think given the last couple of years with cost increases and equipment costs, everything's going up. Y'all know that. So I've got to kind of consider, okay, well, I haven't really been raising my prices because I've been getting by just fine with everything and making enough money. But with prices going up and everything like that, I know they're going up for my customers, so I kind of, I'm going to lay it out there still of, hey, I got to go up. I'm not trying to double and triple prices, nothing crazy like that for some people. But there are going to be some customers that, okay, well, you may, with the new pricing plan, you may go up $20 or $25 a cut, and this person over here may go $40 or $50 a cut. So but that obviously is bigger properties, more time, things like that. So we'll see hopefully how that turns out. Y'all let me know kind of what have y'all's strategies been for price increases or time frames or stuff like that. I like the way me and Mr. Gerald were talking about is he typically gives them a price by the end of the year, first of the year, a month or two before the season starts, and just request that he has a cutoff date to say if you want to be on the schedule and be mowed, let me know by now if you want to continue service, or we'll either bring somebody else in or search for another property. So which I imagine a lot of y'all do that, is to say, hey, this is what the price is going to be if you want to continue service. But has there been an approach? Has it been a letter? Have you gone and or maybe discussed it with them after, say, the final cut? If you do commercials, do you go visit the property manager, or do you just send out letters? So let me know that in the comments down below, what y'all's thoughts are on everything. Like I said, I don't have near the overhead that some people have. Obviously, I do have it, maintenance cost, so on and so forth. But I don't have like insurance, payroll, all that kind of extra stuff to pay for, which I guess has its advantages and disadvantages to a degree. So y'all let me know. I don't want to drag this one on too long. I've probably been 7, 8, 9 minutes or so by now on this part. Like I said, I'm going to get the blades changed on the SCAG and get it loaded back up so it'll be ready to go tomorrow. And I've got one bigger property tomorrow that's about 2.5, 3 acres. And we'll see. I got a plan for the coming week and see. I'm off from work Monday for Labor Day, but hey, nothing else. I'll maybe just want to go play golf that day or that morning, and then come back and maybe go out and have some lunch and do something with the family. So one day next week at least. Not planning on, hopefully not having to do anything. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to or end up taking off from my regular job next week and trying to get some stuff knocked out and get as caught up as I can. I've got a number of big properties to do this weekend, so I don't know. I may have to call, got stuff flying around my face. Might have to call in Chris or Randall again, but it's kind of short notice, so I don't know if I can get a hold of them with what I got to do. So we'll see. Like I said, keep plugging away at it. Y'all let me know y'all's thoughts on the price increase and stuff, and just in general, any business tips. Hey, I'm open to it all the time. Somebody might have one thing they do that would work good for me, or vice versa. I don't know. I don't really have a business plan. I guess that's my problem. Hey, I've gotten some good advice in recent weeks from people like Chris and Randall, Mr. Gerald. I haven't watched a lot of Ray's videos, but Ray would down in Ray's Lawn and Landscape. He's always got good stuff on his things, the way he does things. Some people, it can work for them. So, hey, there's plenty of advice out there, plenty of things to consider or maybe even try to see how it works for you without being too drastic. So, y'all let me know y'all's thoughts. Sorry I didn't get any footage in this one, just me talking. So, hey, like I said at the beginning of the video, I guess I lied. But I did make it to the shop for this part. So, thank y'all. I appreciate it. Climbing up towards 1,400 subs, so thank y'all for that. Appreciate all the new subscribers that have recently come to the channel. Hope y'all are enjoying it. I've got some comments on some of my older footage, so I know I got some new people watching. Thankful for that. So y'all just let me know y'all's thoughts or just general comments. Hey, I'm up for anything, and any kind of discussion. Y'all let me know what y'all's thoughts might be too on either continue trying to sell to Z-Track. and go with a 60-inch or 61-inch sit down, or maybe trying to turn around, keep the Z, maybe flip-flop and sell the SCAG and move up to a 60 or 61 standard. So just let me know your thoughts. Thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. I'm really going to wrap it up this time. Shout out to Ronaldo over at Big Sons, Buster over at New Hope Cuts, Randall over at AMI, I was talking about him earlier, Chris over at Southern Hospitality. Chris, I remembered it this time. I don't know if that's the first time I got it right. Southern Hospitality Lawn Care. I don't know if he's doing YouTube. He does have Facebook stuff. He's a local guy here. And I've already shouted out Mr. Gerald, Ray, and I haven't shouted him out in a while, Chris over at Chopping Blades. I don't remember his name right off the top of my head, but I know the channel is Rogers Lawn Care, so shout out to that channel. He's running a Bad Boy Rebel, does some pretty good work, looks like, from the videos that I've watched. He's doing a good job out there, and so y'all go check him out. And y'all, as always, be safe, be kind, be blessed, and catch you on the next one. Thanks, everybody.